This is Hidden Ranger streaming with Avengers Infinity War. The I don't normally do reaction trailers, but this is I couldn't resist this one. This is the second trailer for this movie that's coming up at the end of April, April 27th, I believe. It got moved up from its early May release, and apparently that's worldwide because its May release was going to be like in the US, and then, some countries would get it earlier, some would get it later, but now this is apparently global. But yeah, the this particular trailer dropped a few hours ago, and I was I was going through Facebook. I was just gonna watch it the way I normally do stuff like this that gets shared on Facebook, and then I'm like, wait, maybe I should do a react video on this. You guys think I should do a react video? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I can't wait for this movie. This is gonna be so cool. So, second trailer for Avengers Infinity War. Let's do this.
The entire time I knew him, he only ever had one goal: to wipe out half the universe. If he gets all the Infinity Stones, he can do it with the snap of his fingers. Just like that.
Tell me his name again.
Thanos.
We got one advantage. He's coming to us. We have what Thanos wants, so that's what we use.
Let's talk about this plan of yours. I think it's good, except it sucks. So let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.
Wow.
The end is near. When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist. Perfectly balanced. As all things should be. I hope they remember you.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Okay, so yeah, so I guess this webcam really did pick up this look of boyish glee and wonder that I was feeling on my face the entire time I was watching this. Yes, I like this. I do. I like this. There's just so much in this that I like. Like, I don't even know where the heck to begin with this. Let's see. Something, I'll just go with what's on my mind right now that's really sticking out with me, and that is, I was initially wondering who that female voice was that was narrating about Thanos, like, all the time I've known him. He's wanted this one thing, and I was like, who is this? Who's this? Oh, Gamora, of course, of course. And yeah, that's wow. And then like later on in the trailer, there was this moment that that showed her as a child being, being led by the hand by Thanos in this like I guess what looked like a ceremony, and he was and it just looked like this father daughter sort of moment, and it's like, wow, we're actually seeing the childhood, or at least a glimpse of the childhood that she's that she's had that she's talked about in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. That's neat. Like, I want to go see that. I want to see if I can find that spot again. Wait. Also, now that I'm on this frame, because I just kind of like selected it at random, but um, I did know that these characters were going to be in this. They're basically Thanos's honor guard. I forget what they're called in the comics, but I mostly know them from the Marvel Future Fight phone app game, where they're like these boss level villains and also like unlockable player characters. But like I know their name. Actually, you know what? Because I know their names and I know where I can find them. Let me do something here, just so that I can name these for people who might be wondering who they are. But and then like I'm actually opening the Future Fight app on my phone, and okay, but I'll let that start up in the background. Anyway, so there's Loki. The tall bald guy, I believe, is Ebony Maw, and the big dude is Dwarf Star. Um, I forget who the other. I forget who the others are. I'll check that in a minute. But let's see. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this moment right here. Like I was just like, wait, who is? And then it pulls out to this shot, and it's just, ooh, that's interesting. His soldiers all have their backs pointing away. I guess to defend. I guess to be on alert against any like assassination attempts or whatever, or just to maybe give this father and daughter their privacy. Their moment to do whatever it is they're gonna do. Like this could be family picnic or something. And notice the background is like this, like ravaged, smoldering, dust kicked up environment. So I guess this is a daddy-daughter sort of field trip, and the field trip happens to be like the end of some world or the conquering of some world. It's just take your daughter to work day, I guess. Which is both heartwarming and terrifying at the same time. So, good job with that. Let's see, what else? Another thing that I love, and of course I'm skipping straight to the end. But this moment between Peter Parker and Doctor Strange that I thought was absolutely perfect was that Peter is so that he Strange is introducing himself as Doctor Strange, and then Peter thinks that that's a made up name, the way the way his alter ego is Spider-Man, because yeah, if you hear Doctor Strange, you're not going to immediately think that that's some dude's actual name, even though, you know, Strange is a relatively uncommon surname. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, and there's Chris Evans as Captain America, looking rather unkempt and wrecked. Like the events since Civil War have been rather unkind to him, because you know he and the other Avengers, or other former Avengers, I don't know if they're even calling themselves this. They're basically they're like they've been on the lam since Civil War, and they're basically wanted fugitives. So you know they're gonna like kind of do whatever they can to not look like they used to, and they're I guess they they clearly don't have access to the same styling products that they used to, and when they were in the U.S. and traveling abroad, that kind of thing. So now this is what Captain America looks like, and he's all nomadic. And I use that word. I use that word literally, because in the comics there was a phase where he stopped being Captain America, and he was this disillusioned and nomadic superhero named Nomad. And so maybe that's what they're hinting at toward here. And there's of course Thanos. Let's see. There's this dude. I think his name is Ebony Maw. I could be mistaken. I'll have to double check. There's the that was a Hulkbuster, and this is this was that fun moment with a meeting of the minds between Peter Quill and Tony Stark and Drax, and I like the bit where Peter Quill is trying to alpha male his way into this and be like, okay, well, I'm the one who makes up all the plans, and of course people who have seen the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are aware of what his plans look like, which is he barely comes up with a concept of a plan, and then he kind of wings his way through, and then acts surprised, like, oh, I guess maybe this should have been thought of. I guess maybe I should have put more into this plan. And who the heck knows what they're gonna have Drax contribute to this conversation? But that's gonna be awesome. I've really liked Chris Batista as Drax, because that's a role that could have required nothing of him but to be a musclehead in the background and just hit things. But he has made that character like so charming and interesting, and just like oddball. Like he's clearly had a blast with this. One moment, I'm trying to get to the part on the app where I can identify who those Thanos characters are. Now I gotta find that screenshot again. There's Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, who I always found delightful in all these movies that she's been in. Okay, there we go. So, I believe this one is kind of hunched over and has this staff, is named Corvus Glaive. This dude who's kind of bald and doesn't have a nose is Ebony Maw, as I thought. Um, this woman right here, who has this trident sort of polearm, or this kind of three-prong thing, that's Proxima Midnight. Like, and of course this is okay, if I can find him. I'm pretty sure this is Dwarf Star, but he's not with the rest of the group. There he is. Oh no, I kept saying he was Dwarf Star, but no, that's somebody else. He's Black Dwarf. Yes, yes. And I'm not even gonna make the joke. Why is he gotta be a black dwarf? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I made it. Um, so yeah, that's Thanos's honor guard sort of character. I forget what their actual title is or the name of their group, but they're his, I guess they're his enforcers that are relatively new additions to the comics, but the Marvel movies have had this thing where they're more than happy to introduce like very recent characters, like for instance Shuri from Black Panther. She's a very recent character, like within the last 10 years, I think. She's very different. She's very different from when she appeared in the comics. And by the way, I like that early glimpse that we had of her. Um, Not even sure where it is in this trailer. Oh, yeah. There's like a lot of black screens here. Like that and that and that. Oh, and this is cool. This is cool. This is probably going to be the last thing I really comment here, to avoid making this video too long. But me and my willingness to talk about any and all like continuity deep dives. This really isn't a continuity deep dive so much as something I've never seen before in Iron Man, and that is like like I'm well familiar with the rocket boots, the rockets that are coming out of his feet, the jet thrusters, and in Iron Man 3 there was this armor called the shotgun armor that basically kind of fused his that like when he needed to go like supersonic and like you know clear the entire planet and go from one end of the planet to the other in, I don't know, seconds or whatever, or as quickly as he could, then like his legs would, I guess, attach and kind of like fuse together temporarily, and so would his arms or whatever, to just make himself as streamlined as possible. This is kind of taking that to the next level, because this is actually not only fusing his legs but also like the thrusters kind of expand out into this one like ginormous thruster. That, holy balls, that's cool. And like I haven't read all the Iron Man comics. Like I haven't read all comics. Like there's like huge swaths of Marvel continuity and other comics continuity that I've only heard about and not read, or some that I haven't even heard about, because there's thousands upon thousands of comics. So I'm not going to be able to read them all. But that I've never seen. I've never seen like that in Iron Man, and maybe there's like something in the comics where he's done that, but yeah, that seems like that's a new feature, and that's a really creative one. But anyway, so yeah, as you can see, I'm really liking what I'm seeing, and I'm hoping this movie, like lives up to it. I mean, I really like the Marvel movies, particularly the Marvel Studios ones, and they've been really good. Like even the like even the worst ones have been like, I'm kind of disappointed by this, or this didn't quite, like they've been like underwhelming at best, but not outright bad in the way that some superhero movies in the past have been bad. Like, I think we're living in a time where like the odds are kind of stacked against superhero movies actually being bad in this day and age. Like, some of them still are. Like, I'm particularly looking at you, 2015's Van Forstick, and some others. But you know what? I'm not even gonna like. Even that's throwing a bit too much shade than I kind of want to in this video. But like, it used to be a time where where the odds were stacked against comic book movies and superhero movies actually being good. Like occasionally they would be like the late 70s Superman movies, but with Christopher Reeve, and then um, and then the '89 Batman movie was better than expected, and in some ways worse than the hype led people to think it was, but that kind of thing. But most in between, we'd get stuff and mostly like particularly in the late 90s, there was a bunch of them and very few of them were any good. And we'd get stuff like Batman and Robin and Shaft and like you know just some Steel, and just some underperforming stuff like that. And then we just kind of have to suffer through it. And then in the early 2000s, that would continue, but then there'd be more movies that were better. And it's like, okay, 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 that's cool, that's cool. And then um and then now, like, particularly since the first Iron Man movie kicked off, like, there's been relatively few bad comic book movies, bad superhero movies. Like, there have been very few bad ones. It's just kind of it's just kind of like the bar has not only been raised, it's been changed. And yeah, and this is Infinity War is being done by Marvel Studios, which has this stuff figured out by now. So I am so excited. All right, so if you like this, leave a like, leave feedback, comments, all that. Um, Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, for more gameplay videos, and for more and for more reactions like this. In fact, another reaction I want to do is I saw um, this tape this tape where Angela Bassett is doing this audition tape for Eric Killmonger in Black Panther. Like, even though she played T'Challa's mother, Ramonda, in Black Panther, like basically there's this video of her playing of her doing this audition reel, and like basically doing some of Killmonger's lines, and I wanted to save that one for a react video as well. So I haven't seen more than a few seconds of that. So that's gonna be another one I do. So, all right, guys, this has been Hidden Ranger Streaming, and I hope you guys have a good day, and see ya, guys.